When it comes to physical activity, turns out the kids aren't all right. A new study by Participation reveals that Canuck kids may be among the least active children in the entire world. The study indicates that when compared to 37 other developed countries, Canada is near the bottom of the pack with a D-. By the way, Slovenia received the top mark of A-. 86% of boys and 76% of girls get enough physical activity in Slovenia. For Canadian kids, it's only a pathetic 9%. All of which reminds me of the old Participation commercial from 1973 that indicated how Canadian adults were poor physical specimens when compared to those in other nations.
These men are about evenly matched. That's because the average 30-year-old Canadian is in about the same physical shape as the average 60-year-old Swede. Run, walk, cycle. Let's get Canada moving again. This message is brought to you by the CFL, CTV, and its sponsors for Participation.
Gee, would that ad ever air today, or would it be condemned as fat shaming? In any event, obviously, Canadian 30-somethings back in the swinging 70s weren't getting enough physical activity. Although I'm assuming childhood fatness rates some 40 years ago are not what they are today, in which 1 in 10 Canadian children are actually clinically obese. So what changed? Well, for his part, lead Participation researcher Dr. Mark Tremblay places some of the blame on too much screen time and not enough free, unstructured play time. I think he's right. When kids come home from school and talk about playing hockey, they're probably talking about engaging in NHL 2017 on the Xbox rather than getting outside and playing some street hockey. You know, one of my fondest sonic memories from my childhood was the scraping of wooden sticks on asphalt, along with the de rigueur timeout cry of "car" whenever an approaching vehicle happened along. But whatever happened to street hockey? I mean, I haven't come across an impromptu game of street hockey in any Toronto area neighborhood for years now. But is there perhaps more to the decline of physical activity other than video games? I would say there are indeed two other prevailing factors: the nanny state coupled with helicopter parenting. For example, in some schools, physical activity at recess has been severely restricted. This includes a ban on balls of any type, doing cartwheels, playing tag, even running is under the ban. Some schoolyards now resemble prison yards in which physical activity is limited to walk and talk. Apparently, the nervous Nellies running school boards are terrified of a lawsuit if little Johnny trips and skins his kneecap. Then there are those helicopter parents who chauffeur their precious snowflakes everywhere. Astute viewers of this space might recall how a Brampton, Ontario school bus driver was recently disciplined because he allowed 3 children aged 6, 8, and 10 to get off the bus early and walk approximately 300 meters, yes, 3 whole football fields, to their babysitter's home unsupervised. When Andrew Shack, the father of 2 of the 3 kids, heard about this impromptu long march, he had a conniption. Here's what Papa Shack had to say. Quote, "Although nothing bad happened, any number of things could have happened considering there was a street they had to cross. As well, there was a body of water nearby, as well as watching out for strange individuals, let's say," end quote. Yeah, let's say an asteroid may have touched down on that very same spot too. How sad in just a couple of generations we seem to have devolved from the true north strong and free to, well, Flab Nation, thanks in part to paranoid adults who continue to entomb children in suffocating bubble wrap, all the while handing out participant awards to everyone so that nobody's precious self-esteem takes a hit. So when you wonder why it is that Canadian kids can't match the physical fitness levels of their Slovenian counterparts, hey, you reap what you sow. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey, you like what you just saw? Then click subscribe below and never again miss another Rebel video.